Morning, Solomon.
Good morning, Chair.
Are we ready to start?
Yes, Chair, we have sufficient members to start. We're just waiting for the parliamentary legal advisor hasn't joined the platform yet, and some of the other officials. But we have sufficient members to start. May just follow up to find out where she is, Chair. Oh, yes, she's joining now.
Oh, she's joining. Okay. Perhaps, okay, let me formally then open the meeting and welcome honorable members from
Recording in progress.
committee, and also honorable members from our provincial legislatures, the leadership of Department of Small Business Development. Not sure if the minister is leading the delegation or the DG, the committee staff and the legal advisor, the office of the chief state law advisor, our guests, media. Good morning and welcome to the select committee meeting. In terms of maybe let's check first with the attendance and apologies, but also on the attendance, maybe if provinces could also indicate whether they are, we'll call them alphabetically. Let's start first with the members of the select committee who are present. Over to you, Mr.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, in attendance today we have yourself, Honorable Khai, Honorable Danbo, Honorable Mashodi, Honorable Mamarkhane, Honorable Bashaf, Honorable Lont. So far we only have one apology, and that is from Honorable Pratase.
Okay. All right. Can we just get an indication? Eastern Cape?
Present, Chair.
Oh, thank you. Free State? No, Free State. Gauteng? No, Gauteng. KwaZulu-Natal? No. Limpopo? No. Mpumalanga? No. Northern Cape? No. Northwest? No. Western Cape? No.
I'm here, Chairperson, but it seems like we don't have a quorum at all, Chairperson.
No. I'm referring to the provincial legislature members at this stage. No, I was referring to not the select committee members. We do have a quorum. I was checking the provincial special delegates. Thank you, Honorable Lont. Okay, let's then continue. Honorable members, we note the apology of Honorable Pratase. We will now start with in terms of the process, the legal advisor will take us through. She did that last week already, but she will now focus on those provinces that she could not. I think it's Western Cape, Eastern Cape, KZN, and Gauteng. Yeah, those four. After that, we allow honorable members to ask questions for clarities on the input. After that, we then ask the department to start where they left off last time. In their response last time, they did respond to the Western Cape proposals. So it will be Eastern Cape if there are any proposals, KZN if there are any, Gauteng if there are any. And then we will outline the process afterwards. Thank you so much. Over to you, Advocate Telana.
Thank you, Chairperson. I seem to be struggling with bandwidth this morning, so I'm going to switch off my video for the remaining of the presentation, if that is fine with everyone. Chairperson, I think we left off at the Northern Cape because we hadn't responded to KwaZulu-Natal, we hadn't responded to Gauteng, and we had not responded to the Western Cape. So I will start, and the Eastern Cape as well. I'll start with KwaZulu-Natal. So the negotiating mandate is as follows. The Portfolio Committee on Economic Development and Tourism met today, Tuesday, the 19th of March, and agreed to the mandate, the KwaZulu-Natal delegation, to support the National Small Enterprises Amendment Bill B16B 2023. Chairperson and honourable members, there were no legal issues raised, but there were various comments from the districts regarding the implementation of the bill, and therefore the Constitutional and Legal Services Office have not responded to any issues, as no issues were received in terms of legalities. The next province, or the next legislature, is the Gauteng legislature. The Gauteng Provincial Legislature is supporting the National Small Enterprises Amendment Bill, with the amendments suggested being considered. Public hearings were attended by stakeholders and interested members of the public who engaged on all matters relating to the bill. Various sentiments were echoed by all who attended, and particularly relating to specific clauses of the bill, and these were contained in the report from the Gauteng Legislature. The first section that they commented on was the definition, section 1G. They had mentioned that the definition of cooperative enterprises follows the insertion of Constitution of Council, but the Constitution of Council definition was deleted by Act number 26 of 2003. Chairperson and honourable members, we consulted with Oxland, we consulted with the drafter of the bill and the drafting team of the bill, and they've said that irrespective of the mentioned deletion, Constitutional Council is still reflected in the Principal Act, and thus determines the alphabetical sequence of the proposed insertions of the definition. So there is no issue there. The next is section 1L. The proposed definition of small enterprises may be interpreted as the entity being carried on in the sector. Also, carried on should be carrying on. We have responded as follows. The definition is clear in its interpretation. A separate and distinct business entity where a business is carried on in any sector or subsector of the economy and is classified as a micro and small or medium and which satisfies the prescribed criteria, which is prescribed in the regulations. We would not suggest an amendment, but this advice we seek from the department. If they would wanted an amendment, and they haven't said that they wanted an amendment, we feel that the definition is suffice and doesn't need to be changed. Section 10D, generally strengthen the capacity of. The sentence contained in section 10D was unclear according to the Gauteng legislature. And they were unsure with what the meaning of capacity was and what was the context. And we have responded as follows, that in terms of drafting prescripts, definitions are only included if it assists the reader, because the Gauteng legislature felt that they needed the definition of capacity to create context to this section 10D. We said that a definition should never state the obvious. If you look at the Oxford Dictionary definition of capacity, it means the ability to receive or contain. In this context, it is clear that the agency will be generally strengthening the service provider's ability to support small enterprises and strengthen their ability to compete successfully domestically and internationally. There is no need to amend or create a further definition. The next section is section 11.2. Gauteng legislature says that the board should assist in the recruitment process as opposed to the appointment process. And we said that the board makes recommendations, and this is in terms of section 68 of the Companies Act, where the board assists in the appointing. And by assisting in the appointing, they make recommendations. So I think that is self-explanatory. Section 11.3, Gauteng legislature said that So Chairperson and honorable members, at this point, we'd like to re-emphasize that it is understood as advised by the department that as an agency will be a state-owned company, there is no need to protect the state as a shareholder in terms of the Companies Act. Where the board and the shareholders do not agree, the shareholder can apply to court to determine any rights of the shareholder, including an appropriate court order. And this, as we said, is in terms of the Companies Act. Section 12(2)(d), the minister may review the board's membership and provide additional capacity. Gauteng Legislature has said that it's unclear as to why capacity should be increased for the material breach. The board should, from the onset, have the necessary resources to meet its objective, not when a breach takes place. And we've responded as follows, that the emphasis should be on additional capacity may be needed in certain circumstances. The next section that they commented on was section 13CX. They've said that the board must provide support in the implementation of small enterprises development framework. Who is responsible for the design of this framework? This is a content-related question or a policy question, and CLSO has felt that it's best left to the department to respond to. Section 13, we've said that the heading refers to the agency's powers and functions, but the content of section 13 deals with the powers and functions. This is what the Gauteng Legislature said. They felt that the heading doesn't reflect what the content of section 13 says, but section 13 deals with the functions of the agency, but the board is mentioned as the agency acts through the board. So we don't think that this needs an amendment. Section 15(2), the Gauteng Legislature have commented that any appropriation of funds must, prior to being distributed to the agency, specify criteria for the use of the funds. This exercise must be done through the appropriation of funds and part of the budgeting process. Chairperson, honorable members, these are practical aspects of the administering the Act. The department must confirm if this is the case. Section 16, the Gauteng Legislature has said that the composition of the board, will there be appropriate funds to be used for the board's remuneration? Public funds should be used sparingly, they've said. They've also said that why is CEO and CFO not defined in full? Once again, this is a practical aspect of the administration of the amendments to the Act. The department must confirm if this is the case. It is clear what is referred to by CEO and CFO. There is no ambiguity in the Act. Furthermore, definitions are primarily meant for terminology frequently appearing in the Act and the meaning of which is not necessarily commonly understood. We understand what CEO and CFO is, so we do not need to further define it. Section 17F, Gauteng Legislature has asked why ordinary citizen, why not, ordinary resident, why not include citizens as opposed to ordinary resident? This is in essence a policy question, but any person who is resident in the Republic of South Africa and possesses qualifications can be appointed as an ombud or deputy ombud. That's not confining the appointment to only citizens, and this was a policy decision taken by the department. Section 17G, the power of the ombud needs to be clear, but does not extend to the deputy ombud, and they've said that the bill is silent. However, if you see 17O, the ombud will assign delegated powers to the deputy ombud, and we think therefore there's no need to create a separate section. Section 17L, investigation reports. What is the status of these reports? The Gauteng Legislature have requested information regarding that, and this again is the department needs to provide clarity on it. This is also merely implementation. It's an implementation question and how things will be say that the ombud and the deputy ombud and the director may delegate functions and assign powers, employees of the office. Will this not mean a sub-delegation? And there are conditions to delegation in 1703, so we think that this is suffice. This is not a sub-delegation. There are conditions attached to delegation. So there is ambits that you need to work delegations. The ambits of the Act need to be applied when you are doing delegations. Moving on to the Western Cape, I think the department has responded to all the policy issues in here, but there have been a few legal issues raised. The negotiating mandate is as follows. The Standing Committee on Finance, Economic Opportunities and Tourism, having considered the subject of the National Small Enterprises Amendment Bill B16/2023, NCOP Section 76, referred to it in terms of Standing Rule 217, and confers on the Western Cape's delegation in the NCOP the authority to support the bill, subject to the consideration of concerns and implementation of the proposed amendments outlined below. And the Western Cape, a number of substantive concerns were raised. The majority of the input related to the Office of the Ombud and the running thereof. These were practical questions and practical suggestions relating to the implementation of the Act. The inter-agency collaboration, they've raised concerns about that, the role of the provinces, the incentives for small enterprises, remuneration of the Ombud, financial and non-financial supporting functions of the SEDFA. This is for the department to respond to, and I believe that they have responded in the previous meeting. There were a few legal issues raised, and we have responded to those. The first issue was the wide discretionary powers of the minister. Guidance was not provided in their opinion. We believe that guidance has been included in the bill. The bill should define the process of appointing board members and include specifics on remuneration. And we've responded that board members are appointed in terms of Section 68 of the Companies Act, and any further specifics can be included in regulations. There's no need to include it in the primary legislation. Section 11.3, the Western Cape Legislature has commented that there requires further criteria and scenarios necessitating a High Court order for appointing a director not recommended by the board. And we believe that these can be included in regulations if that is the policy decision of the department. However, it is understood, as we've said before, that when advised by the department, the agency will be a state-owned company, and there is a need to protect the state as a shareholder in terms of the Companies Act. The Western Cape Legislature has said that the bill should specify the qualifications of the Ombud, and we believe, as well as the Deputy Ombud, and we believe that the list of what skills and knowledge should not be included in the Act, as this would be too restrictive. However, there is a broad list contained in 17F1A, legal training, appropriate experience, and who possesses knowledge of small enterprises, trade industry, finance, or the economy. We believe that this is sufficient. The Western Cape Legislature has also said that we should not repeat the constitutional rights in 17Y2. And this is a content decision taken by the department to incorporate these rights into the Act. Nothing prevents the department from reiterating these rights within an Act. 17G1A, they have said that adjudicate and adjudication should be defined. Language should be clearer in 17G1A. And in terms of drafting prescripts, the definitions are only included if they assist the reader. The definition should never state the obvious, as said, and the ordinary dictionary definition of the word will apply. Furthermore, all issues and concerns and proposals relating to adjudication and dispute resolution process in 17M are policy and content issues and are best left to the department to respond to. 17Q3, the financial reporting deadline should align with the PFMA. This section merely indicates the time period which the director must prepare financial statements. The deadlines for submission, the 5 months of end of the financial year will be those in line with the PFMA, as Section 17Q1 provides that a director acts subject to the PFMA. So we basically discussed this with the drafters and as well as OXA, and it was felt that 17Q1 does provide that the director acts subject to the PFMA. So any concern regarding the financial reporting, it is clear that 17Q1A says that it must be subject to the PFMA. And then further, the wide discretionary powers of the decision makers should be guided in order to mitigate the risk of abuse. And they've once again reiterated the Darwood judgment. And we've said that the Darwood judgment is not applicable in 17G. A, because Darwood applies to the delegation of legislative functions, and B, because Darwood deals with human rights being affected, and in those instances, clear guidance must be given to the minister. 17G sets up the Ombud and gives its powers to do the work it is being set up to do. There are no delegated legislative powers herein. It does exactly what Parliament wants the Ombud to do, which is investigate complaints. Further guidance to the decision maker can be included in regulations. And finally, honourable members, the Eastern Cape Legislature has said that the committee designated by the legislature supports the National Small Enterprises Amendment Bill B16B 2023 and mandates the Eastern Cape permanent delegate to the NCOP to vote in favour of the bill. No issues were raised, but various comments from the districts regarding the implementation of the bill were raised within the report of the Eastern Cape Legislature. And that concludes all our legal responses from CLSO to the various legislatures. Thank you, honourable members. Thank you, honourable Chair.
Thank you very much, Advocate Telanhali. Honourable members, are there any questions for clarities on the presentation? You are welcome also to raise questions of clarities on also the provinces that she reported on last week. I'm of the view that then we had opportunity to also go back to the presentation she made, the whole presentation. So we also give opportunity for clarification questions for other provinces as well, if you have any. Before we then give a platform over to the department to take us through the three provinces, the remaining. I take it that everything is clear, honourable members. If that is the case, then let's go back to I don't know if the DG is here. I see DDG Delwa is with us. You'll indicate DDG. DDG.
I am in the meeting. Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning,
good morning,
members. I am in the
DG
meeting.
Manzini. Okay, over to you, DG Manzini.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and thank you to all the members. DTG Delwa is the one who is going to take us through the presentation, and this morning she is supported by Miss Elise Kukemur, who was also part of the process throughout in making sure that it reaches its finality. May I request, without any waste of time, Chairperson, so that we spend more time on the actual substance of the document, request DTG Delwa to take us through. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much,
good morning.
DG Manzini. Over to you, DG Delwa. I'll request you to in touch last week, but if there are any other information that you didn't share last week, please do so today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. I think, as indicated previously, on the 19th, we did cover most of the provinces, including the Western Cape. The only province that we hadn't covered was KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, and Eastern Cape. And then, as indicated before, the comments mainly from KwaZulu-Natal and from the Eastern Cape were policy comments, and most of them in terms of how we are going to be implementing the bill going forward. The issues really are covered in the general comments that we presented in the meeting on the 19th comprehensively, but some of them also will be covered around the policy issues. Now, just to go specific to the Gauteng input, which had a number of issues, I can confirm that the team has conferred once again with Oxley, and we are convinced that the legal matters that have been raised are covered under the bill, and that the bill is conforming in terms of the legislative practices as confirmed by Oxley. So in the main, the issues that we will be dealing with are policy issues, just to give a sense of how we plan to respond to them. But the nature of the document, Chair, is such that we have covered the different mandates according to the flow of the bill itself. So I will be going through the document, but zooming in specifically to the Gauteng issues throughout the document. Now, in page 2, there are a couple of issues that have been raised that are of a general nature. One speaks to the readability of the bill and a suggestion that the bill could have been repealed. Our response is really that there are many sections of the bill that are not affected by this amendment, and Oxley confirmed that the right approach was the amendment as opposed to repealing the principal act. The issue also raised around the title of the bill and the inconsistency thereof. We are comfortable that the bill as it is conforms, and so that is would be our response. Also the issue raised around the insertion after the definition of the constitution of the council, while section 1 of Act 26 of 2003 deletes the definition. We are still confident that, as certified by Oxley, the bill is still properly drafted. The issue that is of a policy nature that was raised in this general section is around the proposed definition for small enterprises, where there was an insertion of a separate and distinct business entity carried on in any sector. Our response really is that in any sector of the economy, what we mean is the different sectors, and we are providing examples for that, whether it's agriculture, mining, and all of that. But still, the drafting of the bill still conforms to the standard, and therefore there is no need for any changes. I will go again straight to page 5. Where there is also an issue raised on section 10 and the objectives of the agency. The issue raised is that the objectives of the agency is to strengthen the capacity of the service providers to support small enterprises. Is unclear what capacity refers to. So the response really is that we are referring to strengthening capacity of service providers to support small enterprises, but also the capacity of small enterprises to compete nationally and internationally. The policy position from the department is that instead of the agency being a provider of business development support, it should be a facilitator of business development support. This will broaden the ability to provide BDS to more small enterprises. The next issue is in page 6. It's section 11.12. The recommendation is that the minister may appoint directors to the board on recommendation of the board after a transparent appointment process. They propose the recruitment process as opposed to appointment. The recommendation is noted. This relates really to the fact that the minister appoints based on the recommendations of the board. So in our view, this may just be a matter of semantics, but just to also confirm again that in terms of the drafting, we are certain that the bill is consistent with the requirements in terms of the style, and so we will not be making any amendment on that. I move over to page 7. It's section 11. Is it feasible for minister to apply to court to appoint someone other than the board, is it feasible for minister to apply to court to appoint someone other than the board's recommended person as a director? I think section 11, as we have indicated, counters the powers of the board to strengthen the shareholders' accountability as represented by the minister. So this provision really is to ensure good governance. And then I'll move over to page 8 in the document, which is section 13 and 14. It says that section 13 heading relates to the agency's functions. However, the provisions therein relate to the board's function. Section 14 heading deals with functions of an agency. It's in the argument, the point really is that it seems like both sections 13 and 14 relates to the functions of the board. The response here is that section 13 correctly refers to the functions of the agency and the section to the functions of the board. I will move to page 10, section 17C. The input there is that the Auditor General must ensure that the financial statements of the agency are audited each year. The proposed rewording to AG must audit financial statements of the agency each year, every financial year. Our position here is that the bill is consistent with and is properly drafted, and there would be no changes required on this one as well. I will move over to page 11, section 17F, 1B, 3 and 3B. The issue of resident or ordinary resident does not include citizens. I think we are confident that the bill is compliant, but also I think we need to indicate that there are a number of oversight in terms of nomination. So there is sufficient internal controls to make sure that the correct people are nominated in line with the Constitution as well on this matter. Then moving over to page 12, once again, this relates to the powers of the ombuds. The question is if the powers extend to the deputy ombuds, and the issue is that the bill is silent, and that it may be deemed important to just highlight when the assignment of functions is done. Our response is that section 17O enables the ombud to delegate any of his or her powers and delegate it to his or her deputy or director. So the matter is addressed quite sufficiently. The next page is on page 14, section 17L. In the question is what is the status of the investigation report, its findings and recommendations? The response is really that under the powers and functions of the ombud, reference is made to the report findings and determination and recommendations of determination of matters investigated by the ombuds. And then I think this is page 16, and the last really page where there are issues that we think we must address from the Gauteng is the issue of 17Q4. the Auditor General must ensure that the financial statements of the agency are audited each year. I think we've addressed this earlier on. We are satisfied that the bill covers the issues of the audits, and as certified by Oxley, it's consistent with the Constitution. Chair, I will stop there because the rest of the document is now the previous issues that were raised. And we, as I said at the beginning, we've essentially zoomed into the Gauteng issues where we thought we needed to provide responses. Overall, we are satisfied that some of the comments that have been presented, we will be addressing in regulation in terms of implementation of the bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, TDG. If you recall, when we're dealing with the submission from the stakeholders, other than the negotiating mandates, we said we will also deliberate on those submission together with the negotiating mandate. With regard to SARB, you still owe us information so that when we discuss, we also take into account all the submissions that were made. So if we can just give us then an update on that issue as well, so that we consider all the submissions, the negotiating mandates, as well as the submissions that were made by the stakeholders.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think we have previously presented the submissions from the South African Reserve Bank in relation to their role as the prudential authority. And it was really speaking to areas where they thought that it impacts on that role of the prudential authority. Chairperson, just to reiterate that when the bill was drafted, the sections that speak to this, we really engaged with the National Treasury, and therefore the input came from there. After the submission from the Reserve Bank, further engagements took place between ourselves, the Oxley and the Reserve Bank, and the discussions reached an agreement in terms of how we are going to deal with the issues raised, but it will not necessarily require any amendment in the bill in its current form. We will deal with it as we implement the bill to make sure that the sections where they are affected, we deal with them through regulation, but also when necessary, we may delay certain sections from implementation that are affected pending further engagements between ourselves and the National Treasury as the mother department responsible for the policy. But as things stand, there are no issues that require the amendment at this stage, Chairperson. We have concluded our deliberations with the Prudential Authority to proceed in this current form.
Thank you very much, TDG. Honorable members, we have received a response or responses with regard to the Gauteng, Eastern Cape, and KZN, and also the submission, the response to the submission of the SARB. Any questions for clarity?
Chairperson, if I can just be clear on the difference between appointment and recruitment of a board.
Okay, no, that is noted. Honorable Muima. Honorable Muima. I see your hand is up.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
I had a problem in terms of unmuting.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, yeah.
I wanted
No,
to check
it's
if honorable members have questions for clarity
it-
on the presentation relating to KZN, Eastern Cape, Gauteng, and the South African Reserve Bank.
No, Chair, I think the responses by the team is quite comprehensive, and the demarcation between areas that needs regulations, areas that are of policy, and also the commitment to have some of them been looked into in a long term is quite appealing, and therefore the move will be to rise to accept those responses as given, Chair. Because it's a comprehensive one, it's a continuation of what we started last week. So therefore, it adequately covers the comments that were made during the negotiating mandate. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Any other comments, honorable members? So, Honorable Tango, if you can lower your hand, please. Honorable Tango, if you can lower your hand, please.
I'm struggling to lower my hand, Chief.
Okay.
I'm logging in from Acacia Park. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's lowered now. I don't know, Mr. Bazia or Ms. Solomons, if you can put up that the department's metrics again. Okay, can we start from the first page, please? Okay. Honorable members, we will just go down and again, if there are any inputs first we deal with the inputs. We go down until the last clause, which is, I think it's according to the document, it's 19 clause or section 19. Sorry, yeah, and up to section 19. We start with the general issues that were raised. If you want to have any input on that, can you scroll to the next page, please? Okay. Any input on page, still page 1, according to this? On those general issues that are raised by Gauteng and women's, I think it's Entrepreneurs Business Hub. If not, can we then move down or move up this the presentation? Okay, any comments on Western Cape government inputs?
Chair, I think the response that is given to the issues canvassed adequately lay our understanding to rest, Chair.
Yeah. All right. Going to move up the presentation. We just receive input on the SARB. Okay, we can move up the presentation. So, honorable members, you stop me if you want to raise any input or points for clarity. Yeah, keep on moving, Committee Secretary. Maybe slower.
Well, the response is fresh in our head, Chair,
Yeah.
to mainly Gauteng, Western Cape. I think we are comfortable with the response given by the department.
Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go down the presentation, and after that, just hold on. After that, we'll again go back. We then check with the members if they agree with the responses or they disagree, and then we vote on each of those clauses where there are proposals for or against those proposals, or we support what the department and the legal advice is suggesting. After then we're done with all those clauses. You remember there are clauses where there are no inputs at all. There are no new proposals except what the department is proposing. We will then, with regard to that, then put the whole bill up for voting as well. Yeah, so that will be processed. For now, we're dealing with the deliberations basically on the inputs by the negotiating mandates as well as submission by the stakeholders. So we'll go until the last page, and then we come back. We start then with we'll leave out the general comments, but we'll deal with the relevant sections. Fortunately, they are systematically lined down yeah, according to the bill itself. Yeah. Okay, you can move, Mr. Solomon. You'll stop me, honorable members, if you want to make any comments on the input. Thank you. Honorable members, can I suggest that we break for 5 minutes because we're gonna embark now on a very long process of voting for each of the clauses that are on this matrix. 5 minutes. Honorable Tango.
I'm fine.
Yeah, 5 minutes, because we're gonna have a long spell now. Okay. Don't log out, please. Are we back, members?
Yes, we are back.
Yes, Chair, we are back. We are back.
Okay. Can you scroll down, Mr. Bazir? Mr. Bazir, or move up the document. Move up, please. I'll tell you where to stop. Okay, wait. Move down the document. Move down the document. Okay, move up. Move up the document. Okay. We'll start there where it says section 10. Just move up so that we can see the whole page that with section 10 objectives of agency. Okay. All right. We can stop there. Honorable members, as I was indicated, now we will be voting in support of the department or the province. And we then move to the next one. So this one is dealing with the objectives of the agency. I think the clause there basically is the clause. The other point is more of a general, it doesn't necessarily deal with a specific clause. The second one by Gauteng on section, it deals with 10D, the issue of capacity. The legal advisor responded on that. Also, the department responded on that. Section 10, objectives of the agency, 10D. Yeah, over to you, honorable members. What's your take? I don't see the hand, sorry. Can you also help me?
My hand is up, Chair.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Honorable Muima.
Chair, I think the response by the department and also by the legal advisor is sufficient. So therefore, we support the views of the department.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll do it then the normal way, honorable members. Those in support of the position or in the bill, please raise your hand. Keep them raised. Solomon, you'll help us with the counting.
Okay, thank you, Chairperson. So in terms of support, we have we obviously voting in terms of provinces. We've got Gauteng, Limpopo, Free State, Northern Cape, Eastern Cape.
Okay. Right. Honorable members, you can please lower your hand. Those who are voting against clause 10D, please raise your hand as contained in the bill. Those who are voting against. Honorable Moimanga, are you voting against?
I'm voting, I voted.
I saw your hand went up when I was asking those who are voting against. Okay. Those who are abstaining, please raise your hand.
Honourable Chair, if I may come in here, please.
Yes.
Honourable Lund is struggling to reconnect. He's just sent me a message. He was dropped and he's also abstaining.
Oh, okay, we'll take that.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much. Can please lower your hand there, then Honorable Bishop. Thank you so much. So, honorable members, clause 10 D is agreed to as per the amendment in the bill. Can you go down or move up the presentation? Section 11. Deals with the shareholder powers. Okay. I put then clause 11 as contained in the bill. Honorable members, those voting in favor, please raise your hand.
Okay, can I read it out, Chair?
Yes, please. Sorry.
Okay, thank you, Chair. In support, we have Northern Cape, Gauteng, Free State, Limpopo, and Eastern Cape.
Okay. Thank you very much. Honorable members, we voting for the whole section 11, 11.2, 11.2A, 2C, and 11.3. Move up the screen, please. Let's see if there's any other 11. 11.3, yeah, until section 12. Okay. Those voting against section 11 and with all its clauses, please raise your hand. Sorry, I don't know if the members have lowered their hands because mine was still up.
The hands have been lowered. No, there's no hand.
All right. I take it that there's no. Okay. Those who are abstaining, please raise your hand.
Chair, and then again, Honourable Lund, he's driving out now to see if he can get some signal to reconnect.
Okay, take that.
Thank you.
All right. You can lower your hand, please, Honorable Bishop. Section 11, honorable members, with all its subsection has been agreed to. We now move to section 12. Material or persistent failure to meet objectives and targets. Those in favor of the clauses contained in the bill, please raise your hand.
Okay, Chair,
Over to you. Yes.
Okay, thanks, Chair. Okay, in favor we have Limpopo, Gauteng, Free State, Eastern Cape, and Northern Cape.
Thank you so much. Please lower hands, honorable members. Okay. Those voting against clause 12, please raise your hand. Over to you, Ms. Solomons.
There are no hands raised, Chair.
No hand raised. Okay. Those who are abstaining, please raise your hand.
There are two hands from who are abstaining from Mpumalanga and Western Cape.
Sorry. Oh, Mpumalanga.
Mpumalanga and Western Cape, Chair.
Okay. Thank you so much. Then please lower your hands. Move up the screen, Mr. Bazia. We go to section 13, with including all its subsections. Those in favor of section 13 with all its subsection, please raise your hand. Over to you, Ms. Solomons.
Thank you, Chair. In support, we have Gauteng, Free State, Northern Cape, Eastern Cape, and Limpopo.
Thank you so much. Please lower your hands, honorable members. Those who are voting against section 13 with all its subsections or any, please raise your hand.
There are no hands, Chair.
Okay. Those who are abstaining, please raise your hand.
Chair, there are two hands. Chair, there are two hands from Mpumalanga and Eastern Cape.
All right. Thank you very much. Can lower your hands, please. Okay. The budget can move up to the next section. Section 15. Is there section 14? Oh, there's no section 14. There is also 14. Yeah. Let's see. Let me just refer to the document. Section 14 refers to the role, function, and duties of agency board. We will deal with this one when we deal with the whole bill, because there were no specific proposals from, unless I'm wrong. Legal advisor, is there any specific proposal from any of the provinces with regard to section 14? Or because I think the response relate to 13 and 14 from Gauteng, that response. 13 deals with sorry. 13 deals with agency powers and function, and then 14 deals with the roles, function, and duties of agency board. Okay, we'll deal with it when we deal with the whole bill. Let's go to section 15, finances of agency. Section 15. I think with regard to section 15, there were amendments proposed by Gauteng on 15.2 and 15 subsection 4. But these were clarified by the department and the legal advisor, and therefore I'll put the question that the bill be, the clause 15 with its subsection be agreed to. Those in favor, please raise your hand. Over to you, Ms. Solomons.
Thank you, Chair. In favour, we have Gauteng, Eastern Cape, Free State, Northern Cape, and Limpopo.
Thank you very much. Please lower your hand, honorable members. Those who are voting against Section 15 with its sub sections, please raise your hands. Solomons.
There are no hands. Is it votes against? Chair, there's no hands for votes against. Chair.
Yes, no vote against. Okay. Those who are abstaining, please raise your hand.
Chair, there are 2 abstentions. Mpumalanga and Western Cape.
Okay, thank you very much. Please lower your hands. Though I don't see any hands, I don't know what happened to my system here. It doesn't show it. Okay. We now move to the next section, which is section 16, composition of board. Section 16. I put section 16, honorable members, with its sub-sections. Those in favor of section 16 and its sub-section, please raise your hands in support.
Chief, I may proceed. Those in favour is Gauteng, Limpopo, Free State, Northern Cape, and Eastern Cape.
Thank you very much. Please lower your hands, honorable members. Those voting against section 16, please raise your hand.
There are no hands against. Chair.
No hands against. Okay, those who are abstaining, please raise your hand.
Chair, there are 2 abstentions from Mpumalanga and Western Cape.
Thank you very much. So section 16, please lower your hands, honorable members. So section 16 is agreed to, honorable members. We now go to section 17. Section 17, honorable members, will, because it's most of the proposals on section 17, but I will go each of those particular with proposals that are made as to whether we agree with those or not. There's a proposal. Okay, let's deal with I put then section 17 B as contained in the bill. Those in favor, please raise your hand. Section B, small b in brackets. Over to you, Ms. Solomons.
Thank you, Chair. In support, we have Gauteng, Northern Cape, Free State, Limpopo, and Eastern Cape.
Okay. Please lower your hands, honorable members. Those against section 17 B, capital letters, as contained in the bill, please raise your hand.
There are no hands against. Chair.
Okay. Those abstaining from voting, please raise your hand.
Chair, for abstentions, we have 2 from Mpumalanga and Western Cape.
Okay. Thank you very much. If you can lower your hands, please, honorable members. So, clause 17, B as contained in the bill is agreed to without amendments. We now go to section, let me just check. Section 17A and 17B, will deal with them when we deal with the whole bill. So we go to 17C, audit of agency. Those in support of 17C capital letter on audit of agency, please raise your hand if in support of clauses contained in the bill or the section is contained in the bill. Ms. Madia.
Thank you, Chair. In support, we have Gauteng, Limpopo, Northern Cape, Eastern Cape, and Free State.
Thank you very much. If you can please lower your hand, honorable members. Those voting against the 17C in capital letter, please raise your hand.
There are no hands, Chair.
No hands. Those abstaining, please raise your hand, honorable members.
There are 2 abstentions, Chair, from Mpumalanga and Western Cape.
Thank you very much. You can lower your hand. So, section 17C in capital letter is agreed to. Thank you very much. We now move to 17D. 17D, yeah. 1. This one is more about the proposal was more on the drafting. So I put that we agree to the proposed amendments as contained in the bill. Those in favor, please raise your hand. Solomon?
Yes, Chair, in support, we have Eastern Cape, Free State, Northern Cape, Gauteng, and Limpopo.
Thank you very much. Can please lower your hand, honorable members. Those against 17D as contained in the bill, please raise your hand.
Okay, there are no hands again.
Thank you very much. Those are abstaining from voting for section 17D, please raise your hand.
Chief, for now, there's 1 hand, but I'm not sure if Honorable Lonzo has got a connectivity issue. But for now, we have 1, Mpumalanga.
Can we get indication from Honorable Bishop?
I see, thank you, Chair. I see he's not on the platform, so he must have been kicked off again. So please note his abstention.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That means honorable members, sorry, which is it D, section D, capital letter is agreed to, honorable members. We now move to section 17F in capital letter, specifically section FB, which is clause 45 in the bill, amended bill. Those in favor, please raise your hand in support of section 17F B. Solomon?
Chair, the members, I think, are still busy voting because okay, here we go. In support, we have Free State, Northern Cape, Eastern Cape, Limpopo, and Gauteng.
Okay, please lower your hands, honorable members. Mr. Bazir, I think you are still on 16. We're now on 17F. Sorry, I'm using the hard copy. Okay, 17F. 17FB in particular, if you can go down, just move up the screen. Oh, all right. Yeah, that one from Southampton. Okay. Those voting against 17F, please raise your hand. Solomons?
There are no hands, Chair.
No hands. Those who are abstaining, please raise your hand.
Chair, once again, for now we have one abstention, but I'm not sure if Mr. Lund, I don't see Mr. Lund having reconnected, so I'm not sure if he's abstaining as well. If Ms. Honorable Boshoff, can you please clarify?
Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Chair. Yes, please note his abstention. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. So the clause or the section F, which section is agreed to. We now move to section 17G in capital letter, powers and functions of Ombud. Those in favor of the clause as reflected or section as reflected in the amended bill, please raise your hand. Mr. Solomons?
Yes, Chair, thank you. In favor, we have Gauteng, Northern Cape, Free State, Eastern Cape, and Limpopo.
Okay, thank you very much. Please lower your hands, honorable members. Those who are voting against 17G in capital letter, please raise your hand.
There are no hands against, Chair.
No hands. Those who are abstaining from voting, please raise your hands.
Chair, there are 2 abstentions from Mpumalanga and Western Cape.
Thank you very much. Please lower your hands, honorable members. So, section 17G in capital letter with this subsection has been agreed to, honorable members. We now move to skip 17H. We now go to 17I, prescription of complaints. Those in favor of the section 17I with its subsection is reflected in the bill, please raise your hands. Over to you, Ms. Solomons.
Okay, thank you, Chair. In support, we have Gauteng, Northern Cape, Eastern Cape, Free State, and Limpopo.
Thank you very much. Please lower your hands, honorable members. Thank you very much. Those who are voting against clause 17I in capital letter and its subsection, please raise your hands.
There are no hands, Chair.
No hands. Those who are abstaining, please raise your hand.
Chair, abstentions are Western Cape and Mpumalanga.
Thank you very much. Please lower your hands, honorable members. Section 17I in capital letter with its subsection has been agreed to. Thank you very much. We now move to 17J, jurisdictions for complaints. Those in favor of section 17J, please raise your hand. Solomons.
Chair, we have Gauteng, Eastern Cape, Free State, Limpopo, and Northern Cape.
Thank you very much. Please lower your hands, honorable members. Honorable Tango, will you please lower your hand? Thank you. Those who are voting against 17J in capital letter, please raise your hand. Those voting against section of 17J capital letter, please raise your hand. Solomons.
There are no hands against, Chair.
No hands, thank you. Those who are abstaining from voting on 17J, please raise your hand.
Chair, there are two hands, Mpumalanga, Western Cape and Mpumalanga.
Thank you very much. Please lower your hand. Thank you very much, Honorable Heading Education. 15L as reflected in the bill. Please raise your hand.
Sorry, Chair, I couldn't hear you now.
We are 17L. Those in favor, please raise your hand. I was wondering why my hand is the only one. Okay, over to you, Ms. Solomons.
Thank you, Chair. In favor of Section 17L, we have Eastern Cape, Limpopo, Northern Cape, Free State, and Gauteng.
Thank you very much. You can please lower your hand, honorable members. Honorable Mamarafane, please lower your hand. Those against 17L, please raise your hand.
There are no hands against, Chair.
No hands against. Thank you. Those are abstaining from voting on 17L, please raise your hand.
Thanks, Chair. Abstentions are two abstentions from Mpumalanga and Western Cape.
Thank you very much. So 17L is agreed to, honorable members. We now move to 17M and its subsections, determinations by Ombud. Those in favor of section 17M with its subsection, please raise your hands. As reflected in the bill.
Can I proceed, Chair?
Yes, please.
Chair, those provinces in support of Section 17M is as follows: Gauteng, Eastern Cape, Free State, Limpopo, and Northern Cape.
Thank you very much. Please lower your hands, honorable members. Thank you very much. Those who are against section 17M, capital letter with its subsections, please raise your hand.
There are no hands against, Chair.
Thank you very much. Those who are abstaining from voting on 17M with its subsection, please raise your hand.
Chair, there are two abstentions from Western Cape and Mpumalanga.
Thank you very much. If you can please lower your hands, honorable members. 17M with its subsection as contained in the bill is agreed to. Thank you very much, honorable members. We now move to section N, with all its subsection, and also subsection D or subsection 4A as contained in the bill. Those in favor, please raise your hand. Over to you, Ms. Solomons.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, those in favour is Northern Cape, Gauteng, Limpopo, Eastern Cape, and Free State.
Thank you very much. Please lower your hands, honourable members. Honourable Moimang, please lower your hand. Thank you. Those against section 17N, its subsection, please raise your hand. Solomons?
The honour hands, Chair.
No, it's here. Okay. Those abstaining from voting on section 17N with its subsection as reflected in the bill, please raise your hand.
Chair, there are 2 abstentions from Mpumalanga and Western Cape.
Thank you very much, Ms. Solomons. You can lower your hand, honourable members. Section N in capital letter with its subsection is agreed to. Thank you very much. We now move to section 17O, delegation by Ombud, Deputy Ombud, and Director. Those in favor of section 17O as reflected in the bill, please raise your hand.
Chair, if I may proceed.
Yes, please.
Chair, those in favour is Gauteng, Free State, Eastern Cape, Limpopo, and Northern Cape.
Thank you very much. Please lower your hands, honourable members. Thank you. Those voting against 17O with its subsection, please raise your hand. Section 17O in capital letter. Honourable Dango, you can't vote twice. And those who are abstaining from voting 17O with its subsection, please raise your hand. Those who are abstaining.
Chair, there are 2 abstentions.
Over to you.
Chair, we have 2 abstentions from Western Cape and Mpumalanga.
Thank you very much. You can lower your hands, honourable members. Thank you very much. So section 17O is agreed to. We now move to section Q, accountability. Those in favor of section 17 is reflected in the bill with its subsection, section 17Q in capital letter. Please raise your hand. Over to you, Ms. Solomons.
Thank you, Chair. Those in favour is Eastern Cape, Gauteng, Northern Cape, Free State, and Limpopo.
Thank you very much. If you can please lower your hands, honourable members. Okay, those who voting against section 17Q in capital letter with its subsection, please raise your hand.
There are no hands against, Chair.
Okay. Those who are abstaining from voting on section 17Q, please raise your hand. Solomons.
Thanks, Chair. The abstentions are Western Cape and Mpumalanga.
Western Cape and Mpumalanga. Thank you very much. You can lower your hands, honourable members. Thank you very much. So section 17Q, capital letter with its subsection has been agreed to. We now move to section 17S. Those in favor of section 17S in capital letter with its subsection, please raise your hand in support. If you are in support. Ms. Solomons.
Thank you, Chair. In support, we have Gauteng, Limpopo, Free State, Eastern Cape, and Northern Cape.
Thank you very much. If you can please lower your hands, honorable members. Thank you very much. Those against section 17S in capital letter with its subsection, please raise your hands.
There are no hands, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Those voting or abstaining from voting, section 17S capital letter with its subsection, please raise your hands.
Chair, we have 2 abstentions from Mpumalanga and Western Cape.
Thank you very much. So section 17S is agreed to. We now move to section 17Y. Mr. Bazir, section 17Y. Okay. Those in favor of section 17Y in capital letter with its subsection, please raise your hand if you are in support. Solomons.
Thank you, Chair. In support, we have Gauteng, Northern Cape, Free State, Eastern Cape, and Limpopo.
Thank you very much. If you can please lower your hands, honorable members. Honorable Moimang, if you can please lower your hand. Thank you very much. Those voting against 17Y capital letter with its subsection, please raise your hand.
There are no hands against, Chair.
No hands against. Thank you very much. Those who are abstaining from voting on section 17Y capital letter with its subsection, please raise your hand.
Chair, abstentions, we've got 2. We've got Mpumalanga and Western Cape.
Thank you very much. You can now drink water. Thank you very much. You can lower your hand, honorable members. Section 17Y is agreed to, honorable members. According to my list of, can we go to 19? When I was looking at the present, okay, just stop the step Bazir. Just want to check if there are any proposals in section 19, national review. Here is a question, there's no proposal. Okay, can you go down? Okay. All right, can move it down again. Move the presentation down so that you can see the Church municipality. Okay, all right. Take it that it forms part of Western Cape, though it was part of the submissions earlier. Reports on challenges or barriers faced by small businesses and recognition of possible. Okay, let me put then section 19 on the National Review of Small Business with its subsection, honorable members. Those in favor of section 19 with its subsection, please raise your hand if you're in support. Are you back now, Mr. Solomons?
G, in support we have housing, Eastern Cape, Northern Cape, Free State, and Limpopo.
Okay, I'll help you this time around. Sorry. So there are 5 in support. 5.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Please lower your hands, honorable members. Okay, I'll give you a break now. I'll take over. I know Ms. Solomon, Ms. Dinizulu is also having technical problems with the device. Those voting against section 19 as reflected in the bill, please raise your hand. None. Those who are abstaining from voting on section 19 with its subsection, the Honorable Mpumalanga and Western Cape. You can please lower your hand, honorable members. So section 19 is agreed to. What we're now going to do, honorable members, we are going, because we were dealing with mainly the clauses where there were proposals made by provinces in terms of the negotiating mandates. Those have been clarified both by the legal advisor and the department, and members then voted in support of those bills, of those provision as contained in the bill. Now there are clauses that we have not made an input either as submitters or negotiating mandates from provinces. Such, therefore, we'll now put the whole bill on the screen. So we'll be voting for against the adoption of the bill as a whole. Mr. Bazia, if you can please put up the bill. The National Small Enterprise Amendment Bill, B16B, 2023. I don't know, Ms. Didichi, if you have it, please assist. Maybe Mr. Bazia is still going through his emails.
Writing it now, Chair.
You got it? Oh, okay. If you can please put it up.
Shamara just raised their hand.
Shamara's hand is up, Chair.
Sorry?
Shamara's
No,
hand is
not
up.
yet. The bill. If you can.
No, Shamara's hand is up.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Over to you, Advocate Amara.
With regards to procedural compliance, can we please ask Honorable Lont to confirm his abstention from voting on clauses 10, 11, 13, 17 capital D, 17 capital F, subsection B, please?
Although that he was kicked out.
Yes, Chair, that's correct.
Oh, okay. Can you repeat those for me, please?
Chair, it's clause 10,
Oh,
11.
sorry, that's.
Chairperson, I can help you there. Sorry, I'm in a place now where my signal is much better. So you've seen I've not been dropped off, but it is correct. Correct, as advocate has asked, I can confirm from my side.
So it's clause 10?
Clause 11.
Clause 11.
Clause 13.
Clause 13.
Clause 17, capital D.
Clause 17, capital D, yes.
Clause 17, capital F.
17, capital F, yes.
B. That's the last clause, Chair. Thank you.
Oh, that's the last one. Thank you so much. Honorable Lord, clause 10?
Yes, Chairperson, on all of the above, I can confirm. So you can note me for abstain.
So all of them, 10,
on those.
11, 13, 17D, capital letter, 17F, capital letter. All abstention. Is that correct?
That is correct, Chairperson.
Thank you so much. Okay. Anything else, Advocate Ali?
I'm covered now.
Oh, thank
I'm
you so
covered
much.
now. Thank you, Chair.
Oh, thank you so much. I now put honorable members a bill, the National Small Enterprise Amendment Bill. Bill B16B S 2023. Those in favor, please raise your hand. I'll assist Ms. Solomon. It's Eastern Cape, Free State, Gauteng, Northern Cape, and Limpopo. So the 5 provinces. You can lower your hands, honorable members. Please lower your hands. Those who are voting against, please raise your hand. None. Those who are abstaining from voting for the bill, amended bill, please raise your hand. Western Cape and Mpumalanga. Thank you very much, honorable members. You can lower your hands. Thank you very much. So what is going to now happen, honorable members? The minutes of the proceedings of the meeting will go to the provinces so that then provinces can prepare for their final mandates. We would like that at least by the 12th of April, we should have received the final mandates, because in terms of the program of the NCOP, from the 2nd of April, we'll be starting the constituency period. The period ends on the 15th of April. So the next meeting will be on the 16th of April, where we'll then be considering the final mandates from the provinces. So that is going to be the process. It's a pity that not all the provinces are logged in, but the information will be submitted to all the provinces. Thank you very much. DG, any closing remarks before we release you and the team, and because we now deal with the committee matters, adoption of minutes, and all other related matters. Over to you, DG Manzini.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and thank you to the committee, and thank you for the process that we and the journey that we have traveled up to so far that has happened today. As a department, we are very much grateful for the support and the guidance that we have received throughout the process. And we will be able to go back and report to our principals as minister, as the apology was received, couldn't be here. And we were part and observing the process, how it has unfolded. But most importantly, there is a lot that we have learned in the process on the issues that we needed as a department to strengthen, issues that we need to make sure that next time when there is a bill, there are certain issues that we need to make sure that we strengthen those issues in terms of the processes and what we have learned. We want to thank you so much. This was for us a serious learning curve, for me also in particular. Thank you once more for the support that we have received from the committee. I want to thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, DG and the team. Also thanks to Advocate Chelana Hali for the assistance in terms of legal advices, and also to Advocate Ali advices on procedural issues. Thank you very much, and also thanks to the honorable members, particularly from the provinces, also for the work that they've done. We're looking forward to them then meeting our deadlines with regard to the submission of the final mandates. Thank you very much also to the members of the select committee for their participation, their attendance, inputs, guidance. Thank you very much also to the committee staff. We will now release the department if they so wish. It's an open meeting. You may remain if you wish to do so. Also, you are free to remain, Advocate Delana, if you so wish. Thank you very much. We now
Thank you, Chairperson. I'm going to exit if that's fine with you, if I go.
No, that will be fine. Thank you
Sure.
very much.
Thank you, Chair.
Must we also exit is ADG Manzini?
All right. Thank you very much, DG and the team. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Mr. Bazir, if you can help us with the flighting the minutes of the last meeting. If you can move up the presentation, please. Honorable Tafeni, Honorable Tafeni, please switch off the mic. Oh, sorry, Honorable Police Wataku. Sorry, Honorable Tafeni. Sorry, I really apologize. It sounded like you, and also persons speaking closer. I thought it was you. Sorry for that. I really apologize. Thank you very much, Mr. Bazir. Honorable members, are there any questions or corrections? If not, can we have a mover and a seconder for the adoption of the minutes?
I so move, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Django. Thank you very much, Honorable Moimak. Any other view? If not, then the minutes. What date is it? I don't see the date. Mr. Bazir?
It's the 19th of March, Chair.
All right, thank you. The minutes of the 19th of March have been adopted, honorable members. Thank you very much. Any announcements? Mr. Bazir? Give it to you, the message that you sent to me via WhatsApp.
Yes, Chair.
Yes.
Yes, Chair. Myself and Mr. Daniels, we did the memo over, Chair, and we submitted it for approvals. So once it's been approved, Chair, it will go over to members' facility, and then payouts will be done.
All right.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. That's an update, on members, on the monies that we paid from our pockets relating to the visa applications. So that is the update that Mr. Bazir is giving to us. Thank you very much. If there are no other announcements, none. Okay. The meeting is adjourned, honorable members. There's a hybrid plenary session this afternoon. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair.
Recording stopped.